What is happening? Welcome to the Buzz Pitch Podcast, your morning pitching podcast from pitcherlist.com. My name is Nick Pollack. Today is July 22nd. And yes, we are going to talk about baseball. I'm bored, Walker Buehler. I did not enjoy this start. But what? Nick, he had 7 innings, 100 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Yeah, I know. It was what I'm calling a dead zone arsenal. And it's what it feels like watching him, where yes, that is a slider. Yes, that is a cutter and a changeup and a curveball and a four-seamer and a sinker. And they all just kind of do exactly what a normal version of that pitch does. And watching the Phillies go against this, it felt like they were ready for them. They did get 6 hits in 7 innings. A lot of Koufax help here. He doesn't even use his best asset, which is a 1.5 height adjusted VAA for the four-seamer. All that means is that, hey, it's a flat four-seamer. You can get whiffs and do really well upstairs with it. Walker Buehler doesn't do that. He just kind of throws it over the zone. So I don't know. I'm not really interested in this. Even though it was good against the Phillies over 7 innings, he threw enough strikes to give himself the chance. It happened. Great. So glad for him. I just don't think this is actually going to work out for him. Brandon Woodruff went only 62 pitches in 6 innings, got the win in Seattle, but it was 0 runs, 2 hits, 0 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Why 62? Because he had a calf cramp and they didn't want to push it. He's looking great. I didn't love the cutter and curve as much as I wanted to. Four-seamer is fantastic. The changeup is certainly doing well, even though it's not even like the most precise pitch. You just keep rolling with Woodruff. Ace is going to ace for Paul Skeens. We saw 6 innings, though. And I'll be honest with you, he should not win this Cy Young. At least I don't think he will by the end of the next 2 months, because it should be Zach Wheeler. We'll get to him soon. I do think that the Pirates are going to limit him. It's really that simple. But it is a sub-2 ERA. So if the season ended right now, it's Paul Skeens. But I think that Skeens is probably going to have about 30 innings fewer than Wheeler. And if the ERA difference is like 10 or so in that time, I will be so irate if it's a repetition of Corbin Burns beating Wheeler for the Cy Young. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that drove me up the wall. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, Paul Skeens obviously is great. Hopefully we see at least 5 innings and 80 plus pitches in the future from Skeens moving forward. Don't do anything silly. Sean Burke, 0 runs against the Rays, but 3 hits, 4 walks, 5 Ks. His heater was at 93, 94. A lot of pitches over the plate and gave himself a chance, even though 4 walks are also in there. Yeah, he's not a finished product yet. We saw Ben Brown and Chris Flexen go multiple innings after Ryan Brazier in this Cubs game. Ben Brown allowed 6 earned runs in 4. And Chris Flexen didn't do well either in his 3 innings against the Royals. We don't want to touch any of that. Kevin Gausman had a ridiculous game against the Yankees. Got a win. 7 innings, 100 run, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts, 12 whiffs, 35% CSW. That is a King Cole. And here's the thing. He threw 73% four-seamers. Kevin Gausman had an incredible game, one of the best games of his entire season, when he threw about 20% splitters. What? It makes no sense to me. He is an absolute hipster. He gets the gold star because this is just so oddly great to me. Yeah, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to actually lean into this heavily. Oh, Gausman, you are a strange one. Randy Vasquez gave you nothing. 4.1 innings, fine. 100 run, but 7 hits, 1 walk. Not a single strikeout. That's a big old goose egg. 0. No. Do not go after Randy Vasquez. We saw Shohei Ohtani. He went 3 innings against the Twins of 100 run, 4 hits, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Doesn't really matter what the line is. It's just like, hey, 46 pitches, 3 innings. Hopefully we get him to 5 by the middle of August. I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks away from that. We'll see what the Dodgers do. They're being very careful with this. We know we should see it in September. At least you got to prepare at some point for the playoffs. But then we saw Dustin May as the follower. 4.2 innings of 0 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 4 Ks. You know what's so funny about this? We thought about Dustin May going into the bullpen and we said, hey, look, we might see some extra velocity. And we did. 96.3 on the four-seamer. No more of that sub 95, no 94 and change. He did go 95 and change on the sinker, but 96.3 is pretty good on the four-seamer. He did it over 100 pitches. It's not like you're doing max effort all the time as a reliever for 1 or 2 innings. This is 4.2 innings at 100 pitches and you're at 96 to 97. What? I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's the four-seamer, sinker, and sweeper. And I'm still just weirded out. And I don't want to touch Dustin May. You got a cheap win, though. Congrats. Congrats. Maybe you'll vote for another one. If you want to play that whole game. Michael McGreevy against the Rockies in Coors got the win. 7 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits, 0 walks, and 1 strikeout. He did not allow a home run. So 0 walks, 1 strikeout, no home runs in 7 innings as a one instance of a true outcome across 7 frames. That is absurdly rare. Michael McGreevy, guys. He is a command pitcher, sinker, sweeper to right-handers, and four-seamers and cutters and whatnot to lefties. I don't really like. But he is a command-focused arm. He could be a quality start ratio play moving forward. The Padres next. I don't like that one. Zach Wheeler is going to ace 22 whiffs for a gallows pole, 6 innings, 200 runs, 7 hits, 0 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Yeah, he's going to just coast the entire rest of the year, and he's amazing. He deserves a Cy Young. He needs one. He does not have a Cy Young, and it's bonkers. Jack Leiter against the Athletics got the win. Hey, blame it on the Athletics, though. What? Come on, Nick. This was 6 innings, 200 runs, 7 strikeouts, 4 hits, 4 walks also, but we'll take that among everything else. His changeup was thrown 31% of the time, and this was not just lefties. Like, it was, I think, 28% or so to right-handers as well. And it had a 38% CSW. This should be great, right? 28% non-competitive rate. That means a quarter of the time when Jack Leiter threw a changeup, it was just, whoops, it's a ball. And just to remind you guys, about 10% is the average or so. Like 28% of the time is really bad when you throw it 31% of the time. So it was good when he executed it and bad when it wasn't. And that's really the whole thing with Jack Leiter. It was a sub 60% strike rate on both the slider and the four-seamer. Well, whatever. It was good enough. He had sinkers over the plate to right-handers that were not damaged. But it's just, he's not the complete thing yet. He is absolutely battling himself every single time. I do not want to go after those P's pitchers. Poor execution. Awesome stuff. Colton Gordon snuck out a win. He almost lost it, though. In the 6th inning, he had 2 runners on, and then he was pulled. The bullpen saved him. So 5.2 innings, 200 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. Yeah, a lot of Koufax help here. I don't really want to go for it much, but it is against the Athletics now. That could be a cheap win. This was against the Snakes. It's all right. So props for that. Carlos Rodon against the Jays, 5 innings, 200 runs, 6 hits, 5 walks, 4 Ks. He got squeezed a bit in Toronto, but the Jays are really, really, really good at home. It's kind of crazy how good they are. He threw a lot of changeups, only 15% CSW, and not much precision or accuracy really where you wanted to go, down and away. 0 out of 18 slider whiffs is so abnormal, and you shouldn't think that he's going to have that again. So just move on from this one. Yuri Perez against the Padres, 5 innings, 200 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. I'm live. You see it live. I just yawned. Yuri Perez against the Padres, 5 innings, 200 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube. You'll see the edit I just made. 7 whiffs, 87 pitches. Here's the thing. The four-seamer is not being controlled as you want it to. It's inside the zone, but it's not upstairs. It is a flat 1.5 height adjusted VAA. That's good. At 18 inches of vert and at 97, 98, but he's not getting upstairs enough, which means he's not getting enough whiffs on it, which means he's not getting enough strikeouts. And then you have the slider and the sweeper to right hand. My gosh, this was a 25% strike rate between them. Oh, terrible. Absolutely terrible. 5 out of 20 thrown. You can't do that, Erie. I mean, at least the curve was okay. The left-handers. It's the one element that he's really missing right now. Yes, he could just do it with four-seamers upstairs and call it a day like Joe Ryan almost, but at least Joe Ryan gets strikes with his. He's so close. And honestly, it's one of the things that you should expect to get better as the season goes on. Tanner Bybee finally doing good things. 7 innings, 300 runs, 6 hits, 0 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He had 7 over 20 whiffs on the cutter. That's great. 80% strike rate. Cool. He kind of just threw it over the plate and it didn't really matter. And the changeup, though, was effective to lefties generally down. It's more of the good Bybee. It's still not like, oh my gosh, he is great again, Bybee. But we're encouraged. I hope this is a real thing and that he becomes legit moving. All right. We have other ones to talk about from yesterday. What were we doing with Jack Flaherty and Noah Cameron and David Festa, Senga, Kirby, all weird starts. And we're going to talk about all of them and more after this break. Bryce Elder against the Giants got the win. 5 innings, 3 runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, and just 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my bread with this? But he got the win because he was opposite Hayden Birdsong, who did not record an out. Yes, Hayden Birdsong went 0 innings, 5 earned runs, 1 hit, 4 walks, 0 strikeouts. Shocking. He had a 24% non-competitive rate on everything. He also didn't get a single chase. And he had a 24% zone rate. So that means 76% of his pitches were out of the zone. Whoa. Okay. He is so very lost. Just don't go with Hayden Birdsong. Okay. I know if I'm at 100 on the list, I was like, maybe there's a chance he gets it back. Nope. We are not doing that. All right. We have Tomoyuki Sagano against the Guardians. 3.2 innings with 300 runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, and 4 Ks. I was actually optimistic that Sugano would do well because his splitter command and four-seamer command against lefties has been better than what he's done against righties. And he went against the Guardians with a lot of lefties, and he went 2 for 22 whiffs on the splitter with 46% strikes. And his four-seamer, it just was not where it was supposed to be. And just, nope. He does get Rocky Road next. So fine. Maybe that one does work, but this was very disappointing. Jack Flaherty, oh boy. 17 curves and sliders. Had a 0% non-competitive rate, but just a 36% strike rate. No one was chasing these out of the zone. And that led to the Pirates teeing off on him, essentially 3 innings, 300 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. That is a very disappointing start for Jack Flaherty. And it's at the point, maybe I should just accept that he's a hipster, not a cherry bomb. He does get the Jays and Phillies next. Oh, gosh, at least he gets to host the Jays. But it's weird because I do feel that Jack Flaherty is much better with these breaking balls. And that he's shown a lot more signs of being great than bad. But it has been a tough 6 weeks. And I thought he was coming out of it. I think it was clearly tipping for 2 straight. And then it's just kind of been the normal bumps. But this is really disheartening. And do what you need to do. I'm going to hold on to Jack Flaherty personally, but maybe I'm just not accepting the facts enough that he has not done it. And I should stop holding on. George Kirby against the Brewers, 6 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, and 3 Ks. He was doing well. And then all of a sudden he got a careful Icarus where he hung a few sliders, grooved a fastball or 2, and then it was all 4 runs. It was an annoying inning. What I don't really like about this, though, is that his slider and his four-seamer really weren't grooving. It was 0 over 17 whiffs on the slider to lefties. And the slider was just... it was not the Blake Snell blueprint we've seen. The curveball was good to lefties. I really like that one. 6 over 17 whiffs on that. But he's supposed to be like this command guy, right? I have not seen George Kirby have a consistent approach of locations across starts. And by the way, he had a 56% non-competitive rate on his four-seamer to right-handers. Just think about that. George Kirby, the guy who doesn't walk anyone, threw 5 of his 9 four-seamers to right-handers as auto balls. That's kind of wild to me. You have Noah Cameron against the Chicago Cubs, got the win, 6 innings, 4 runs, 7 hits, 0 walks, and 7 Ks. He got bamboozled a bit in that second inning. 2 pitches in the second frame for 2 home runs that counted for all 4 runs. And then was great otherwise. And what's kind of interesting is I think he raised his arm angle a bit to be really vert focused. That is 17 inches of vert of 93 miles per hour. And that means that the cutter, the slider, and the curve are now in this straight line down while not being a wide arsenal, right? It's not a horizontal focused one. It's very much depth. I kind of dig that. He's going Blake Snell blueprint as well. With those pitches, he also has the changeup that is the most horizontal difference, I believe. So I dig this overall for Cameron. I do wonder when he will get shut down, though, right? I mean, he did miss some time before. The same moment, it's... I think that Noah Cameron might slow down eventually as the season goes on. But yeah, we just keep rolling with Cameron. I think he has much better command than a lot of people give him props for. I mean, he was locating that thing upstairs and then going everything else down. Tyler Anderson against the Mets, 6 innings of 4 runs, 4 hits, 5 walks, and 4 Ks. He actually only had 2 runs entering the 7th, and then he allowed a walk and a single, and it got pulled, and both came around to score. But the changeup wasn't very good. 3 for 26 whiffs. Kind of weird. 46% strike rate on a changeup for Tyler Anderson. That's the pitch every time. Well, whatever. He goes to, he hosts Seattle and then the White Sox. So Yeah, that's going to be fine for Tyler Anderson. They're going to be questionable starts there. David Festa against the Dodgers, 5.1 innings of 4 earned runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. You look at that and you go, only 5 base runners in 4 earned runs. Right. He allowed 3 home runs here, a 2-run shot and 2 solo shots. That's all of your runs for the day. You generally went Blake Snell blueprint. Upper half to lefties with the 4-seamer, bottom half with the sliders to righties, even though not too many strikes there. And changeups were generally up and down to lefties. They did well, and that was cool. I see that Bailey Ober might be returning this week to the Twins, which means that one of Festa or Pollack or Simeon Woods Richardson gets bumped. Probably won't be Pollack. Roster Resource says it's Festa. I think it should be Simeon Woods Richardson. Whoever gets that, it would be getting the Red Sox in Minnesota next, which would be a good one. So keep an eye on that for David Festa. Kodai Senga did not do well against the Angels. Faced a lot of right-handers, did not get whiffs on his splitter or strikes on them, and it was just not really a good game for him. I do not think that this is a sign for things to come with Senga, but understand that this was just a bad one. We move on. We have Austin Gomber against the Cardinals. Didn't do well because it was in Coors, and it's Gomber. We don't need to do this. Jacob Lopez against the Rangers, 5 innings of 5 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He had a good game through 4, had a solo shot to Josh Young on a slider down and away that he tugged over the left field wall. Fine. But then you had a slider that was down and in out of the zone that was golfed for a 3-run shot. And it's just, oh man, that's kind of tough. So I think he's still good. I think it's worthwhile against right-handed lineups. And guess what? He gets the Astros next. So I would still take a chance there. Not really running for it, but he's going to be a questionable start. Jacob Lopez. Jake Irvin against the Reds carpet. Guess what? 3.2 innings of 5 earned runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my bread with that? Oh boy, Jake Irvin, go away. Zach Gallen did not do well against the Astros. 6 innings of 6 earned runs, 7 hits, 1 walk, 6 Ks. He had 4 earned runs through 6, and then decided to come out again for the 7th and allowed a 2-run shot. Sweet. I don't know where he's going to go. I hope that it's a good team that fixes him. I would think that his value goes up wherever he goes. He just needs a change of scenery at this point. The curveball is still amazing. Just something else needs to happen. So keep an eye on that. Who knows if he gets traded before his next start? We'll see. Brady Singer against the Nationals, 2.1 innings of 7 earned runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my bread with that? This is actually what I was afraid of, because Brady Singer is best with his slider working, and that slider does not work well against opposite-handed batters as well much. So yeah, the Nationals threw a lot of lefties against him, and he didn't do well. And now he gets the Rays and Atlanta in Great American Ballpark. He does get the Pirates after that, fine, but I don't feel like you need to hold on to Brady Singer for that. And then last, but maybe least, is Shane Baz. 4 innings of 8 earned runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Oh my gosh. Hayden Birdsong was least. But man, Shane Baz is so disappointing here, because I see it, Baz. I see that curve being so good down and that 4-seamer being so effective and commanded upstairs. And now instead of the slider, you have this cutter for strikes. And maybe the changeup kind of works too. But like, that package is very good. And yet there's always something missing every start. And it's very frustrating, because I know you can do this. I know you have the ability, and it's just not quite there. So he goes to Cincinnati next, and then it's hosting the Dodgers. And I feel like you don't want that at all. But then he will go to Seattle and San Francisco, and you do want that. So you could get away with dropping him. I don't know if someone's really going to jump on this, and then hopefully circle back after the Dodgers start. But yeah, I'm going to have to lower Shane Baz on the list unless he has this incredible start against the Reds. And you might want to even start him against the Reds and then bench him for the Dodgers and then go after the others, because 3 of those 4 are not in Tampa Bay, at least, which is certainly not helping him here. He had 2 home runs, making up 5 of the runs against the White Sox here. Oh boy. So do what you need to do with Shane Baz. I think I'm going to hold on for the Reds and wish me luck. But I feel like Shane Baz is much better than what we are seeing here. That is it for today. Thank you all so much for supporting what we do. My name is Nick Pollack, and may your BABIPs be low and your strikeouts high.